Hey guys, below the bottom tier here again, and today I'll be showing you the damage calculator. So why is this important? First, let's bring out the chart of the Gravewalker. Let's say level 31 Gravewalker. You can see his HP right there. It's around 2700, right? So why is this damage calculator important? It allows you to calculate yourself on how many hits it will take to kill a Gravewalker with certain uh combinations of potions and relics. So, with that being said, let's begin. So, here's what the damage calculator looks like. Let's go with a two-handed sword that is BC. You can see it's a drop-down bar. I highly suggest you do not touch any of these multipliers because it's very complicated way of formalizing it. If you want to know the formula, here's the formula. And here, let's say you want to select two-handed axe, it changes the damage here as well. So I highly suggest you do not touch any of those. Just touch the drop down bars. So let's go with a Lost Stampeder. It has 10% increase. It's a rare and it's a two-handed sword. So this would be the potions I'm using: discreet melee, enhanced melee, brute force, lethal adrenaline, and here, I will be using Netherband, which is checked yes, Teratome, which is checked yes, and Ring of the Wretch, Ring of Spiritic Fusion, and Band of Brutality. So, just note you're only allowed to have 6 relics. Nobody really uses this at this patch, so just keep that in mind. Maximum of 6 relics for now. Let's begin. And here, you can see the final damage is 692. And when the monster is under 50% HP, it gets reduced because of the Netherband's effect. So you're expected to do 577 damage. Let's do that. Let's change my setup to this. So here you can see Lost Stampeder. My Dumarak armor's here. And then these are the relics that I stated before. Netherband, check. Teratome, check. Ring of the Wretch, Ring of Spirit of Fusion, Band of Brutality. And here are my potions. So, let's do that. I have both a standard mob and an undead mob. Why is that important? Because Teratome is only working against the undead. So here's the undead variant of it. Let's start off with the standard mob. This guy. 693. This one is 692. Why is that? Since we're dealing with decimals, there's a note here that the monsters, the damage sometimes is off by 1. There, 577 is the next one, 577. You can see it's pretty much accurate. It's just that some values are off by 1 damage, which I really can't change that because that's just how decimals work and rounding works. Let's go find an undead. It's 865 damage, supposedly. How much damage are we doing? 866 here. But reduced Netherband is 721, 722. There, it's off by 1. Usually it is only off by 1. Now, let's try that with a legendary. Let's say a Wind Chaser. Same item, same relics, just different weapon. What would the results be? More often than not, it's actually relatively accurate, and that 1 damage wouldn't really play a very, very big role in your calculations, anyways. So here it's 1050 for a standard mob and 875 when it's reduced. Let's go find the Demonling. 1050. See, it's pretty accurate. And then here's the reduced Netherband, 875. Let's do it again. There, you can see the numbers. It is in line with these since it's not an undead. Let's go with a skeleton. Let's go find one first. Here's a skeleton. 1312. See, it's pretty accurate. 1094. That's also pretty accurate. Now, let's go back to the damage calculator. All you need to do is just change these, and everything is automatic for you, which is the nice part of it. Another thing is, certain relics have certain notes attached to them. For example, let's say I turn this off. You see the note here disappeared? Let's turn it back on. What does it read? You lose 20% damage if monster is under 50% HP. See new damage colored blue. This one. Let's go with the Peekaboo Brew. Nobody really uses this now, but I did place a note there. Only the first hit does 3 times the damage. So just multiply it by 3 on where you fall on the chart. So if let's say it's a standard mob, and then and you're using a leather band, and your HP is still about 50%, you do this. If it's an undead, you do this. If it's under 50% and it's not an undead, you multiply this by 3. And then same thing for this one, but if it's an undead. And you have Teratome Bone. Now, let's turn off Peekaboo Brew. Let's see about Amulet of Deathly Howls. The Amulet of Deathly Howls, you lose 30% damage if player is above 30% HP. And Dark Heart Medallion, you lose 25% damage if player is above 50% HP. So this is in line with their abilities. But here's the thing. It doesn't show here. Why is that? It only shows, you can see I made a note here also. The damage calculator assumes that all buffs are active. So meaning to say all the potions that you placed here, all the consumables that you placed here are active. And all of the relics that are here, like Howls and Medallion, are expected to be activated. Necrophancy and Crit will not be included due to it being so inconsistent. It doesn't appear all that often. And lastly, event consumables, such as these ones. Let's bring out the consumables. Dark Sour Proctail, Hex on the Beach, I will not include those. Why? It's because not everyone has access to them. And another thing is, you cannot make them. So there is a limited supply. It is also to simplify version 2. So what is version 2? I'll show you that in the last parts of the video if you want to stick around to find out. But it has to do with showing you how many hits it will take to kill a certain mob. It will directly show you with whatever build that you have. And another thing to note here is this was created in patch 260. As you can see already, some of the values a while ago were off by 1 damage. And if you do get this from a different source, I'm planning to ask Dr. Loot to place this in the guides section. You can see a link to the video, this video. Now, the question in your mind would be, how do I get this damage calculator? First, there will be a Google Drive link at the bottom in the description. So go there and you will be placed here after you click that link. You can see it's a view only. So this is the top note. This is a view only. So go to File on the top right section, this one, and click Make a Copy. Here you can freely edit it afterwards. Let's say make a copy. Why is this? It's so that when people edit here, or when I make a more improved version of the version 1, it doesn't affect your calculations. So this one is your copy and your copy alone. So see, you can freely edit this. This one is a completely different account, which is my original account. And just note, you cannot stack these, like the same type of uh item. I mean, in the calculator you can, but in the game you can't. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, that's just how you get the damage calculator. And with that being said, here is version 2, or what I plan for version 2. I want I want it to be automatic, where you click a map, for example, let's say Laris, and then all the monsters of that map show up, and with whatever current build you have here, will show you how many hits it takes to kill all of those monsters. Let's say Gravewalker, 3 hits, Skulkling, 1 hit, Skulk Weaver, 2 hits, something like that. Now all the boring part is gone. Let's move on to version 2, or a prototype of version 2. This one's not yet out because it is in line with the monster database. For Smite, I'll be using these 3 potions, and then these are my relics. So let's move on to the monster calculator here. Legendary Axe, 2-handed, damage 20% from the Tharbor Smite, all my relics and my potions. And then I have the Gravewalker here. So this is what I want to do. Number of hits, and I want to do this for every single map, and then all the monsters in that map. So let's try that out. So here's a Gravewalker, level 31. One. Well, that it crit. Let's find another one. 1, 2, 3. That's 3. Let's use another item. Let's go with the Grim Divider. So that's a one-handed axe BC. 15% increase. 4 hits. Let's see if it's really 4 hits. This one, this one, this one. Okay, let's go find a Gravewalker. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 hits. Like what it says here. Alright, so that was version 2. I hope you enjoyed that preview of version 2. I will still be continuing the monster database series, so don't worry about that. The next one will most probably be the Ripjaw. And if I did miss anything in the damage calculator, just comment it below. I really do hope that this helps you guys out, especially with like the monster's HP in line with the database that is being made. And if you do like the video, do leave a like. It helps me out a lot. Do subscribe because, it also helps grow the channel. And with that being said, this is Below the Bottom Tier, and I'll see you in the next one.